Hey, 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 hey. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. I hope you're having a great day today and hope God blesses your socks off today. And I got a notepad right here, and that's different because I typically don't write, well, actually I do write stuff down, but I think this is the first time I've ever had a notepad in a video. Well, anyway, let me go show you what I got going on. So you can see right here the yard, just from the heat alone we got today, and had a couple of warm days. Things are starting to green up. That's from that 19019 protein I put down last year for my winterizer, and that's starting to kick in and show a little bit as we get some heat. Now look at this right here. See how this grass is really short? See how I've got that trimmed out nice? Let's walk around. And you can see here's that 3-foot area of turf that I'm getting rid of. It's gonna go all the way around my beds like that. Had to, because my cryptomeria is getting too big. So what does all that and a notepad have to do with each other? Simple. My square footage is changing in my yard because I'm getting rid of this band of turf all the way around, and off the top of my head I'm gonna guess that's going to be close to 2,000 square feet. Now I've got to remeasure my square foot. Obviously I can go in to the office, use my software system. We use Service Autopilot for the business. I could pull it up, measure it. I could use Google Maps, pull it up, measure it. I could use I could use a measuring wheel, measure it, tape measure, measure it. But I want to show you how to measure it, your square footage, if you don't have access to any of that kind of stuff, using a notepad, a pencil. Well, we're going to use a Sharpie. I couldn't find a pencil, so I got a Sharpie, a blue Sharpie right here. And most folks have a phone, and most phones have a calculator on it. So we're going to use the calculator on your phone, notepad, and a Sharpie. Let's get to it. All right, so when we're dealing with square footage, I personally am not concerned about getting things absolutely dead spot on to the centimeter. If you notice, a lot of your lawn care products have a high rate and a low rate and that kind of thing. There's a little bit of variation in there, and you know, it's just not that important. It's just not that important to me to get to this inch. I'm not that peculiar. I want a good general idea of my rough square. I want a good idea of my rough square footage, okay? And I'm gonna get close. I'm gonna get really close. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't have to have it dialed into the inch, okay? I'm not that anal about it. So I'm using the edge of my patio right here as my starting point. So I'm gonna put the back of my boot on the edge, and I'm gonna take my normal stride right there. All right, and you can see I took my Sharpie and put it against the back of my boot where my stride ended. And when I go back and measure that with my 12-inch shoe, 1, 2, 3, I'm 36 inches. So for each stride I take, I'm walking roughly 3 feet. Now, you might not have a 12-inch shoe, and you might not be 6'1", and you might not stride the same I stride and all that. So this is going to be specific to the person, okay? But the point is, you want to figure out how many feet or how many inches you're taking every time you take a normal walking stride. So I don't make claims to be able to do a whole lot of things because I can't. And this ain't gonna be no different. I've never claimed to be an artist, and so once you see this, you're gonna be like, well, yeah, he's got a point. He's not an artist. So we're gonna come right here and we're gonna draw as a box for my house, driveway. There's the road right there, and then this road kind of goes in front of the house right here, and then we're gonna put as a row of trees right here, like my cryptomeria, like so. Then we're gonna come right here and put my 3 crepe myrtles. We're gonna kind of draw my little thing right there, and my pergola is gonna be right here. We're gonna put the sidewalk going to the pergola. We're gonna put the, let's see, that ain't right. That comes more like that. I'm gonna put that going to the front door, wrap this bed kind of around like so. Something kind of like that. Okay, it's not perfect. It's okay. I'm just trying to get square footage here, right? Basic math: length times width equals a square footage. So I'm going to bust this up. I'm going to measure this part of the yard. Then I'm going to come over here and measure the two little small parts on the side. Then I'm going to come over here and block this off and measure this off. And then I'm going to come and measure this. I'm trying to bust things up into rectangles. That's exactly what I'm trying to do here. So let me draw it out and kind of show you what it's going to look like. So now you can see my different boxes here, my different rectangles, and I'm putting lines in it. That's my grassy areas. So let's go out here, let's walk them off, let's do the math. Now as I'm doing this, I'm going to be counting in my head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 22. I'm going to write that down. 22 times, I'm going to go over here and then walk the opposite way. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 39. 22 by 39 right there. Now this part of the yard right here has a curve. It goes in and comes back out. So I'm going to cut the difference. I'm going to take half of the curve and imagine it's over there so that it squares up this area. So I'm going to start about right here. Instead of starting back there, I'm going to start right here, because I'm taking this little piece of grass, putting it over there, and that way I end up with a good square. 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 13, 14 by 13. Pretty close to a square, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 38. This is the front yard here I'm in now. And so I walked it that way, got 38. You remember in the back, I walked it and it was what, 39. So you know, that probably was where one of the little curves or something like that was at, where it's a foot difference. Again, that don't bother me one bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 38 by 13 in the front. All right, so let's take our paper now. We need to convert these over to, you know, steps of 3. So we're going to do 22 times 3 and then 39 times 3. So that's going to be 66 times, what's 39 times 3 equals 117. And then we're going to multiply those. 66 times 117 equals 7,722. So my backyard, the big rectangle, is about 7,700 square feet. And I've got, these are the two numbers for over here on the little side yards right here, in the 14 by 13, that's kind of over here next to the mailbox. And then the 38 by 13s in the front. I'm gonna do all these right here right quick, and then we'll look and see what we got. All right, so there you go. I got all my totals right here of all the measurements. Now, I can't stress to you enough, don't take your number and get the square footage. You must multiply each number times 3, because remember, one step equals 3 foot. Now that's in my case. One step for you might equal 2 foot. I don't know what your stride is. I don't know how tall you are and all that kind of thing. So you have to do that first step based off you, not off me. Now I know a whole lot of people do this. They'll take this square footage right here and they'll block off little sections in their yard, and they'll mix up enough product to spray 7,700 square foot. Then they'll go back and mix up enough to spray 800 square foot, and mix up enough to spray 500 square. Whew, boy, that takes a lot of time to do that. That's why I teach y'all to spray like the professionals do. When we do this at work, we don't mix up individual batches to spray individual parts of each yard. We go in and blanket spray the whole yard. Our equipment is calibrated per 1,000 square feet. So as long as you're walking the same speed and you're spraying the same width and your pressure and all is consistent, you can spray the entire yard and be comfortable with it, knowing you got the right amount of product on the right amount of square foot. You don't have to bust up the yard in all these little different sections and spray them individually. So I'm going to take this right here and add it up. 7722 plus 756 plus 495 plus 1638 plus 4446 equals, look at there, 15,057 square feet. So we're going to call it 15,000 square feet. So my guess that I lost about 2,000 square foot of turf was pretty accurate. Now, where do we go from here? So I'm working with 15,000 square foot here now at the house. So what I'm going to do is divide that by 2. And what does that equal? 7,500. I know for a fact I can't take my Strom and cover 15,000 square feet in one 4-gallon fill up, because I'd have to almost run. It would pump out the material faster than I can walk and cover it, and I don't want to do that. I want my coverage to be good. So now I know I can take my 4-gallon sprayer and put 7,500 square feet worth of my product or material inside that 4 gallons. I can spray half of the yard and I know I'm good. I'll go back to the carport. It's a garage. I say carport because I grew up in a home that actually had a carport and not a garage. So it drives my wife crazy because I call the garage a carport when you're supposed to call it a garage. And she's just anal like it. I call it a carport because that's what I grew up saying for 25 years. It's a carport. So anyway, the garage. I go back to the garage, mix up another 4 gallon worth of material, and inside that 4 gallons, I'm going to have all my products that go on 7,500 square feet. It's the same thing I used to do with 17,000 square feet, and I would bust it up into 2 individual applications and would mix 8,500 square foot worth of turf products in one 4 gallon and do that twice. Well, now it's just backed off a little bit. So what does that mean? Well, it means I'm going to be using a little bit more water. I'll probably get a little bit more coverage, but it's not going to be a tremendous amount of difference. But I hope this helps you. Basic, simple math, basic, simple sprayer calibration, and it'll help you to where now you don't have to bust up your yard into all these little tiny places. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you've got 12, 13, 14, 15,000 square feet, and you can now spray that yard in 2 applications instead of having to bust up the yard in 3 or 4 different areas and spray. It's going to save you a whole lot of time. You're going to be accurate with your products, and not only that, you're going to be considerably more efficient. I can't tell if that's somebody's dog down there or a coyote is going crazy. But anyway, there you go. Notepad, phone, a Sharpie. You can use a pencil or a pen, and your feet. That's how you do it. That's how you can come out here and measure your square footage on your yard, and you'll know beyond a shadow of doubt how many square feet you're working with. You know, a lot of you folks have maybe a smaller box yard, and you can actually get out there with a tape measure and measure it. It's many different ways you can measure your square footage and get it right. Why is that important? Well, that's important because the products you put on your yard have a certain or recommended rate, okay? That's a high rate and a low rate on most products, and you want to stay within those boundaries, okay? You over apply, you might be doing damage depending on what you're spraying. If you under apply, you may not get the results you want to see because you didn't put enough of the product out, right? And in both cases, you're wasting money. You're just taking money. I ain't got no money on it, but I'll take it and just whoop, throw it and let the wind blow it away. So that's why I scream sprayer calibration to you. That's why I beat you over the head with it. Be accurate, okay? Hope that helps you with your calibration and all that. Get ready because we're going to be rocking and rolling here for long. We're going to crank your videos out. And the Spray Buddy is it's super, super close now, and the calibration is going to be incredibly important for you to know that and learn it and grasp the general concept of sprayer calibration before you use the spray buddy. I'm telling you, it's going to be important. So hey, appreciate you watching. I'll check you later.